we're gonna start out first in intelligent driving mode. And this is really gonna be for sort of in and around town driving, really designed for fuel economy. Even though you're in sort of the less sporty mode that's available to you, it's still gonna be a lot more pep in your step, you know, so to speak, than just the regular 2.5i. It's still gonna be very responsive. And in and around town, things like that, it's definitely gonna be more than enough power for you. The other thing that I really like that they do with the turbo, they give you a good level of amenities here. I mean, you have, essentially now you have basically what's in a 2.5i premium. Here you have the 7-inch touchscreen, you have automatic climate control, heated seats, X mode. The other thing that I love though that they do with just the turbos with the Forester is you do have the paddle shifters. So if you have seen our Forester and Crosstrek comparison, one of the things I liked about the Crosstrek was the availability of paddle shifters, and they do give that to you in the Turbo Forester, which is awesome. So I'm gonna shift over into sport mode here, just on this turn here. You do have a nice sport tuned suspension in the Turbo Forester, which is really nice even compared to, you know, like V6 RAV4s, things like that. And I can feel, you know, there we go. Not a lot of lag there, that was really nice. But it took me up to, unfortunately there's cars in front, but it took me up to about 5,000 RPM before it actually shifted, which is going to allow you to rev higher. You can feel a little bit more of that boxer sound, which is nice to feel in like a mid-size SUV, which is really cool. But visibility in this car is really good. I mentioned previously in other videos when driving the Forester just how well you can see over the front. So to have kind of this glass box feel mixed with exceptional performance is really nice. I don't think you need to have it in sport mode, you know, in and around town like we are here. We're just on some small roads, but it does know how to calm down. So I'm in sport mode now, but I'm only at 1500 RPM. I mean, granted, I'm only going 35 miles an hour, but it does sort of know how to calm down for you if you're not really using it, but it has that power available to you when you want to punch on it. I don't think that's really the same in Sport Sharp. We're going to demonstrate that for you in a second. I think Sport Sharp's just a little heavy, a little bit too aggressive throttle response to be driving just kind of in everyday situations. It's really only time I ever turn it on is like, you know, getting onto a highway on the on-ramp just for a little extra fun. And then if I'm really, you know, on a windy road trying to be aggressive. So here I am, I'm just pushing the gas down. That went up to about 4,000 RPM. I'm already up at 40 miles an hour here. It's just gonna let you rev a little higher. You're gonna feel a little bit more throttle response, which is nice. The other cool thing I like is, you know, just like on the WRX up here, you do have the boost gauge available to you. And then you also do have, it's gonna show you PSI, so the pressure that's going into the turbo, and then also percent of throttle. So if you're flooring it, you know, 100%. If you're just touching it, 0%. They actually do have this available, not with the turbo, obviously, you know, the PSI there, but they do have these types of gauges available in just a regular Forester as well. One addition that they have made to the Forester, which previously was a huge difference between Outback and Forester, was, you know, road noise, quietness, softness, and feel. They've added the noise insulating glass to the Forester now. So now it is a much quieter ride. I can still hear the engine when I'm in sport mode or Sport Sharp and I'm, you know, up at 5,000 or so RPM, but just regular road noise, wind noise, the suspension feeling going over bumps, things like that, it is much quieter and much more responsive. The other thing I do like too with SI Drive is that you are able to kind of go in between modes. So right now I'm in sport. I can just push that same button once again and go back into intelligent. So it's kind of, it lets you sort of live in the moment, so to speak, on how you want to drive and how you want the car to perform, which is awesome. Unfortunately, we're passing a police station here on our way to test out Sport Sharp, so I have to go the speed limit, and I know it's boring, but it's 30 miles an hour, so bear with me, guys. We're taking this out to Santa Fe, over Santa Fe and South Rio Grande, and we are going to, the reason I like this spot is because we're from a complete stop, and then the speed limit, I think it's like 55 or 60, so we really get to floor it here, which I really love. Only problem is kind of getting towards that rush hour time, so we gotta wait here for just a second. So I'm just gonna push it here into Sport Sharp. Cool thing with Sport Sharp is even if you're in regular drive, instead of saying D for drive up here, it's actually gonna show you what gear you're in. Now granted, it is a CVT, it's a high torque CVT, but it's going to show you 8 speeds. They're going to act very similar, but you're not going to feel that lag. So I'm going to give myself some space here, and then I'm just going to push it. Boom. There we go. There we go. See, now that, unlike with, now I'm already up to speed here, whoop, got to get over. Unlike with regular sport, that took me up to 6, almost 7,000 RPM before it shifted. Now, I wasn't in manual mode. I could have put that in manual mode and had a little bit more control over when we were shifting there. But it's really nice. It takes you up to about 3,000 RPM, so a little bit slower turbo response than the WRX with the new engine in it, but still very, very powerful. Once that turbo hits in, bam, and it keeps that power band, which is why I think the CVT is good for this. You compare this to, for example, and I'm putting it back into regular intelligence, there's too much traffic here, but you compare this to like the old 4-speed they had in the turbos in like 2011, like that Turbo Forester. That was fun, you know, aggressive drive, but very, you needed more gears. That was weak. It was weak. It was a weak transmission for it, and I think this is a huge, huge step up. It's very similar to that of like an 8-speed, just a little bit less lag there in between. Well, hey guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet driven a Turbo Forester and you're sort of comparing it between that and the 2.5i, I definitely suggest first taking a look at the XT Premium. It offers a lot of bang for your buck and gives you really everything that you're going to need, unless you're looking, of course, for things like full leather or eyesight nav, things like that. The XT Premium really comes one way. You can have a little additional accessories there, but I really think it is a very good value and definitely worth checking out. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, it is just Groove Subaru on YouTube. We've got tons of videos up there, a lot of new stuff from 2017. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe today, and we'll see you guys next time on Groove Subaru Today. Take care.